Hey, what's going on? So, obviously, if you click the video, you know what it's about. This is a whole bunch of Sora's Mind information that we're going to go over. Obviously, episode 9 came out a few days ago, 4 days ago, as of recording this, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, I'm going to go over a lot of things that I probably should go over, some explanation stuff. So, since this is unscripted, and I know I have a tendency to trail off and take forever to explain shit, I'm going to try to go as fast-paced as I can, because me at my fastest pace is still over-explaining and taking a long-ass time, but just a slightly less long-ass time than if I wasn't monitoring myself. So, here we go. Okay, so Sora's Mind 01. I'm not going to stay on this topic too much since I already pretty much explained this in the pinned comment of that video, but obviously that was meant to be a one-off video. I made it when I thought I wasn't going to come back to the series. At the end of the comment, I say that the writing is fucking terrible, in quotes. I was just exaggerating for the sake of writing, you know, a funny comment. I mean, the writing's not great, but overall the video's okay, but we'll go ahead and get into the next part, which is, I believe that the route of making Sora's Mind episode 9 and onwards is a significantly better option than any other option. The thing is that I know that not only my series, but a lot of series that came from that second wave / Muddle Minds era had a problem with the remaking stuff. You know, the ending the series midway through, or maybe even after it's finished, and going back and restarting the whole thing. I know that I had a bad tendency of this, and everybody else did, and I would kind of like to be the one that stops that. And I guess you could technically just say that the new Sans Mind has done that, and I'm not going to undermine what Tyler has done. He's done a great job. I've seen the new episodes. He does pretty well in them, obviously, and has stuck to his word about it being the last version, but that's also like a new version. I feel like what I'm doing is like if he were to continue the Sans Mind Season 2 thing and finish it. Something like that. It's just what I think is right for the fans. And not only that, but it is significantly easier to just work whatever retcons or qualms I have into an existing series so I can go forward and then go back and redo everything later. We'll get into those retcons at the end of the video. Okay, so what's something else I want to establish? The general demeanor of Mind series as of late. I feel like there's kind of this oversaturation of super gloomy, serious series that focus on being grounded and super dramatic and stuff. I feel like while maybe this is not a terrible approach to do things, it kind of feels like everybody does it, and that there's this standard created that if you don't do it, then it's like outdated in terms of the style, and modernity is doing everything super realistic, and it's all this stuff. And I kind of feel like this is not a good way to go about stuff. I feel like a comedic series that has some wacky and zany moments is kind of needed, since Mind series for the past few years, like I said, have had that tendency to be extremely gloomy and depressing in a lot of ways. Something else that's happened a lot, well, lots of stuttering, you can tell, unscripted, is that, well, modding. Lots of modding. And even though, like I said, stylistically this is not a bad way to go, it's just all anyone does now. And it's been a while since a series just did the mod pretty much vanilla, aside from swapping a few character models every now and again. So this is where I lead into my next point, is mod accuracy, and also the more comedic tone of this series. I get that the general opinion of Residual Life as a mod is kind of mixed, where some people like me generally like the very weird, off-putting direction of the mod, and others who are more Half-Life purist, I guess you could say, fans, just are not very big into its direction at all. However, I think in the context of Mind series, and especially my series, is that since this mod's perspective of the story of Half-Life is so unique and generally interesting, that it could help that kind of tried and true Mind series stigma as of late of, being typically super ambitious and super brooding and dark. Whereas we can have a silly and kind of over-the-top weird series that gets into some territory that not a lot of Half-Life projects in general go into. And about the comedic part, obviously I just kind of miss the days when the videos were dialogue-centric, and obviously Freeman's mind works as well as it does because Ross takes the characterization very seriously. You kind of have to do that because it's a video where you talk to yourself for 5 to 10 minutes at a time, and if the self-conversations in question are not interesting, then it's just generally not enjoyable to watch. Take any, subpar or less than good Mind series, for example. You can't really sit through the whole thing, can you? It's either boring or obnoxious, and, neither option is fun. So I feel like it's kind of important to take that a little more seriously again, since I feel like people have gotten too caught up in the modding and editing aspect. Which, like I said, obviously don't edit it like shit and only focus on the dialogue. But I think a healthy mix should be reintroduced. I know that Residual Life has a cult following of its own, and I'm sure that if you told a lot of the fans of that mod that there was a series of it that does take a route similar to Freeman's Mind, that they probably would want to see all the crazy moments in the mod in it. If you're going to watch a series called Sora's Mind, it would only make sense for Sora from Residual Life to experience Residual Life things, right? So I figured that a Residual Life fan watching through the series and is seeing all the mod accurate stuff and being happy about it would kind of like being me seeing all these recent MCU movies and being happy that they're comic accurate. Something like that. Now earlier I had mentioned retcons. There are a lot of retcons. While this is a continuation of the 2018 series that we've all been wanting and loving since, 2018, retcons. Like I've said about 400 times within the past 3 seconds. But you're probably wondering how I'm going to take care of all this. So here's the deal. If any of you remember, I made an update video back in 2019. And I had said something along the lines of this.
So after I finish episode 10, I plan on making a series where I remake the first 7 episodes of season 1. They're gonna be called the remastered episodes.
Something I kinda want to make clear is that, first of all, it is not going to be episodes 1 through 7. It is going to be episodes 1 through 8. The main reason for that is because, not only are their quality completely different from every episode after episode 9, but also, let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room out of the way. Squeaker voice. So I kind of have to do a canon explanation as to why suddenly he sounds like an adult. Well, he always sounded like an adult. And the past versions of the episodes never happened. Just kidding, I'm not going that route. Second of all, the series in this video was called the remastered episodes, and since that's a mouthful and sounds kind of stupid anyways, I've given it a cooler name. Sora's Mind Redux. Now you're probably wondering when I plan on doing Sora's Mind Redux. In the video I said that it would be after episode 10. Well, since I've basically said that every other part of this plan is different, you won't be surprised to learn that this part is also different. In fact, I don't even plan on doing the Redux series after a certain part of the series. I just straight up plan on doing it after it's done. Because since I know you guys are so sick of me going back and restarting shit and doing the same levels over and over, you'd probably want me to just finish the fucking story for once. And so that's what I'll do. But just know that if you get any notifications about a Sora's Mind Redux or a Sora's Mind Redux trailer, that no, it's not another reboot, no, it's not another remake. It is literally just me going back and improving the fidelity of the old school episodes. And I guess I should probably say this part, since it is also kind of important. Sora's Mind as a episodic series will end after a certain point, but the actual story itself is supposed to end in a big ol' Mind series movie, which will most likely be called Tomb of the Sun Eater. This will really just be a glorified hour-long episode where I finish the mod and what have you. But this is mainly to just explain that when that series finale, in quotes, eventually does happen and it cuts off after a certain point, that no, it's not me trying to edge the audience or leave you on a shitty cliffhanger. That's me trying to take the Adult Swim route, where I finish the series off at a certain point and then make the big ol' finale in a movie. And I stuttered real bad. This is unscripted, just gotta roll with it. Now, something I really want to mention while we're at the end, and this is probably the most important thing that I feel like I absolutely need to say, because I feel like no one's really gonna notice if I don't. This series revival would not be what it is without my brother JB Sonic. And I think that it is absolutely necessary that we give him his flowers for not only helping me get the idea and helping me come to peace with this stuff and be able to come back at all, but also to be probably the best quality control that this series has ever gotten, probably. He's been a tremendous co-director, co-writer, and to have a second voice like that help out with these episodes just improves their chance at being quality and fun to watch. More than that chance ever would have existed back in the day when it was just stubborn old 12-year-old me just thinking the only person that could do it right was me. And I was wrong. I mean, if you have the vision, you know what you're doing, but obviously that's not all. You gotta have a second voice, you gotta stay grounded, you gotta be able to handle criticism, because at the end of the day, well, a little word to the fellow creatives that are listening right now, that second voice is absolutely essential to making sure that your product can be as perfect as possible. So I'm not exactly sure what all to say now. I feel like I've pretty much gone over everything that I need to. I went over what the whole thing with 01 was, episode 9, the intent that I have for the rest of the series, mod accuracy, obviously. Something I really want to make clear to the fans of this series is that I genuinely want this story to get finished, because I am also a fan of a lot of Great Mind series that had come out that were started off really good, gained a lot of momentum, and then something happened and then they just abandoned the series and canceled it. And if they didn't cancel it, then they just straight up restarted it, like the whole reboot problem, which obviously I'm guilty of. But I would like to be one of the few creators that goes back and tries to make it right. It's probably gonna take many years, or maybe I could get it done really fast, who knows? I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'll tell you this, I really want the series to get done. I want to finish the mod, and I want to give the best possible version of this series, the best written, the most mod accurate, and you know what I'm trying to say. Just what you guys have always wanted. That's basically what I'm trying to do, because I want to make something that the fans will genuinely remember and enjoy and cherish, because like I said, we have had a lot of series that were really good quality and never got finished. And it'll probably be a slow lifespan, honestly. I am a very busy guy, not only in my personal life, but Sora's Mind isn't the only thing that I do creatively anymore. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to come back and try to do however many episodes I can at a given moment. Like I said, I genuinely want to finish this series. And as long as I'm still breathing, I think I should be able to. I don't really know what else to say because I'm terrible at outros. I have a tendency to think I have to do this whole thing where I have to say a bunch of stuff and then I ramble on for too long and then say something stupid that nobody cares about. So I think I'll just go ahead and end it off here. Obviously, thank you to everybody who watches, everybody who watched through the whole video, everybody who watched episode 9, everybody who watched 01, and everybody, I mean, if you've just been here the whole time, or you've been a new fan, or fucking whatever, thank you. I hope that you can find some enjoyment in whatever I do next. Okay, well, that's it. I'm leaving now before I start doing the weird thing where I drag on. Actually, I think I've already done it. See ya! Well, to put it bluntly, episode 9 is not happening and neither is a proper continuation of Sora's mind.
What that mean, nigga?